What will happen if a family adopts a dog during their vacation, but leaves it behind when they go home? Then, one day, a man finds the lonely dog and does something so incredible, it'll bring tears to your eyes. The story begins in spring with Millie, a cute, playful, and loving puppy left alone on the street. Some kids find her and take her to their summer spot. Throughout the summer, they have fun with Millie, their new pal. She enjoys treats, bones, and sticks for playtime. Millie feels super lucky with her new family, cozy home, and yummy food. But little does she know, something totally unexpected is about to shake things up for her. As summer ended, it was time to leave. The kids didn't want to say goodbye to Millie. They knew she might not survive the winter as a stray. Even the youngest kids understood, but their parents insisted they had to go. Millie gazed at her, sensing something was wrong, but she didn't know she'd been betrayed. She chased after the car for a while, but soon grew tired. As the car vanished, she felt abandoned, homeless, and unwanted. She couldn't understand why her loved ones would leave her like this. But before we go into more depth, if so, don't forget to subscribe, and we are aiming for 1,000 plus likes on this video, so be sure to like it. Let's continue the story. Samuel, who lives in the nearby cabin, watched sadly as the neighbors left for their vacation. He was one of the few who stayed year-round in the area. As Millie returned to her empty house, he prepared to warm his home with firewood. Seeing the dog's distress tugged at his heart. Unable to ignore her plight, he called out to her. But Millie, scared and confused, didn't recognize his voice. With a heavy heart, she ran away from her once beloved home, her tail tucked between her legs. Samuel couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness as he watched her go. In the evening, as darkness fell, Samuel spotted something outside the house. He stepped out and found the deserted dog. Calling her once more, Millie obediently rose and approached his yard, sensing safety. Samuel gently petted Millie's head. Millie finished all the porridge, filled with meat chunks, and didn't rush to go. The man had finished his work with the firewood and was now sitting on the porch. Millie cautiously approached him and even rested her head on his lap. "Well, my dear, did they leave you? My dog recently died. She was already old, so I will always find food for you. Don't worry," Samuel said quietly. "Don't be afraid. Together we can overcome any problem. You see how it happens? The time comes when we become useless to anyone. You recently had owners, and I once had a family." Millie looked at this strange man and seemed to understand everything. Then she rested her head on his lap once more. Samuel even thought he saw tears glistening in the dog's eyes. For some reason, many people fail to grasp such a simple truth, that animals also possess souls and feelings. Like humans, they feel pain, fear, and panic. They suffer, get bored, have fun, and experience joy. Just because they're animals doesn't justify mistreating them. One day, Samuel headed to the city for some shopping and brought Millie along. She hated being left alone, but she stayed calm during the ride, cuddled on the comfy seat. Near the shopping center, they ran into Millie's old owners by chance. The kids spotted her and called her name, but Millie didn't move. Instead, she snarled, showing her teeth, warning them to keep away. Their parents tried to explain, but Samuel didn't pay attention. He glanced at Millie, then at her former owners, saying, "Children learn from their parents' actions. You've already taught them betrayal." It was a moment of truth that left everyone silent. After shopping, they headed back home. The dog sat with her head on her owner's lap the whole way. Winter was almost over, but the cold was still biting. Samuel caught a bad cold. He was usually healthy and didn't keep basic medicine at home, but now he had a fever, cough, and runny nose. He was really sick, and there was no one around to help. Only Millie stayed by his side, looking into his eyes as if asking, "How can I help?" The house hadn't been heated for days, because Samuel couldn't even get out of bed, and this could end badly: pneumonia. So, the loyal and brave Millie embarked on a mission to help her dear owner. She dashed through empty yards, finding quietness everywhere. A kilometer away, there was a village with paramedics. How Millie knew where to go is a puzzle, but she kept going despite the freezing wind. At the village, she scratched at the door, barking and howling to get attention. Paramedic William was puzzled by the commotion Millie caused. He tried to warm her up with food, but she refused. Then, a local recognized her as Samuel's dog. It became clear that Millie was there for a reason. Her owner needed help. Samuel was rushed to the hospital with pneumonia. Meanwhile, Millie stayed with the paramedic. They often visited Samuel until he recovered and returned home. Millie's bravery and loyalty saved Samuel's life. It's a tale of a dog's devotion and the bond between pets and their owners. It shows that sometimes our furry friends understand more than we realize. And in times of need, they'll go to great lengths to help us, just like Millie did for Samuel. The following summer, Millie's former owners never returned to the holiday village. They sold the dacha, and nobody ever saw them there again. If this story touched you, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends. So, what are your thoughts about this heart-touching story? Share your opinions in the comment section below.